Hello everyone, and welcome to News and Views for April the 10th, 2025. It's always fun to start these off with a bit of a weather report. We are having some gorgeous weather in this area right now. Snow is finally melting away. Took my boots off today for the first time in I don't know how many months and wore some shoes to work. So enjoy it out there. We don't know what's coming in the next 2-3 weeks, but enjoy it while we can. We have some interesting items coming up on our schedule in the next 2 weeks or so. First of all, we are going to be having interviews with all of our candidates for the Riding Mountain region for the federal election. These will be starting, we're starting the interviews today. They will be airing the week before the election, so you can see what all of our 5 candidates have to say about who they are, what they stand for, what they're running on, their platforms. Those will be available. We'll broadcast those. They will also be available on our YouTube channel for everyone in the area to see what their choices are in this federal election. So again, those will be airing the week before the election, so you can check those out. We're also heading into budget season for pretty much all of our municipalities. We generally cover Neepawa, North Cypress-Langford, and Rosedale, and we will certainly head to those ones. And try to hit a few high points of other ones as we can. But those will be happening in the next couple of weeks. So you can look out for those on the station as well to see, what your area is going to be budgeting towards, working towards for the next year. So on the show today, we have 2 items, 2 very special items, actually. We were out at the public meeting for the Habitat for Humanity, where they announced the family that will be the recipient of the first build. So we have that on the show today. We see who that is. We see a few clips from that public meeting that was had, which also discussed, the floor plan of the home, what it's going to look like, what volunteers are needed, all kinds of things for the community to know. And as well, we were out in Wellwood, and this is the first time we've actually filmed in Wellwood. It's at least the first time I have filmed in Wellwood. And we were there because the Nature Conservancy of Canada and the North Cypress-Langford Municipality are entering into a partnership for several quarters of land. What this means is 4 of those quarters, which are unsuitable for agricultural use, are being donated, and the rest will completely remain unchanged. They will be continue to be leased grazing land, and the partnership is just ensuring that they will remain grazing land, which allows us to maintain our ecosystem, maintain the health of the aquifer, and all kinds of benefits to that. So we were out at that public meeting in Wellwood. We have a bit of their presentation on what is going to be happening and a bit of the public response to that. So if you have anything that's going on that you want us to know about, whether it's something like this, a public meeting, whether it's an event, whether it's anything that you think is interesting for the people of this area, please get in touch with us. We want to know, or take footage of it yourself and send it in to us. We are always looking for volunteers to do a variety of tasks for the station. We are a nonprofit, community-owned station. We are here for you. So if there's anything you want to be seeing, please get in touch with us. You can reach us 204-476-2639 or by email nactv@wcgwave.ca. Thanks and enjoy the show.
Thanks, Dawn. So as Christina said, the family selection process is intense. It is a very intense situation. Families, we had an open public meeting probably 6 months ago, I feel, a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Time goes by really quick. And we kind of outlined what the habitat process would be for families to apply. We had 15 families take applications back, and what they did with those, it depended on whether or not they were ready for the commitment that comes along with being chosen as a habitat family. We received about 5 applications, and the committee who Dawn, myself, Marla Steen, and Chad, and Father Chad was also part of that committee, all met together and went through each of the applications. And really what we're looking for is, are you employed? Do you fall within the guidelines of income? There's a low income and a maximum income. Do you have children? How many people are in your family? Who are, all of these things kind of give you points towards. The biggest thing is that financial stability and whether or not you are not over-debted, that that home ownership is not going to be a burden to you. And that is really, really important when we were looking at our applications, because we want to ensure that homeowners are going to be set up for success. Once that family is then selected, and they go through credit checks, they go through credit counseling, they go through a homeowner's course, and there's all sorts of other supports that are surrounding that family in order to ensure that this is for sure a hand up, and that they are set for success in managing their own home, in creating the home that this will be. So we had a number of really great applications, and we have chosen a fantastic family. And it is my pleasure to introduce Rachel. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your family?
I'm Rachel. I'm living in 134 Mountain Avenue, and I have a daughter, 13 years old. And thank you for choosing me as the luckiest one.
Well, we are so lucky, absolutely. Rachel is a hardworking mom, single mom, works so many jobs, and is really super dedicated to providing the best for her daughter. And we are so, so excited that this is going to be your home. So congratulations.
Our Neepawa chapter, I didn't say too much about it before, but what we're just the Neepawa chapter. Our area is actually a big area. We go to Minnedosa, Neepawa, Gladstone, Carberry area. That's our circumference that we deal with. We chose Neepawa because Neepawa, we're all from Neepawa. It's just easier for our first build and there was a definite need here to help out Neepawa, but down the road, and I'm not going to say that it's going to be, there's going to be another one right away in a year's time, there might be 2 years' time. It all depends on the need and how everybody helps out is where we build and how many we build. Just for instance, I always go back to Portage because it sticks with me. Portage is on their 7th build for Habitat, and for this year, I believe, is their 7th. No, this year, the 7th one?
They're doing another, yeah.
So this year, because they're in the 7th year, with all the people helping out with their donations right off the hop, and they hardly had to donate, hardly had to go and do any fundraising because of the money coming in from the other places, other houses they've done. So that's how it can expand that quick. Like 7 houses, and they're doing one, for next to nothing. Anyways, it's a privilege to be able to help out, to give back. I'm happy to. Gets me every time. But it's just nice to be able to give back to the community. We all worked in the community. We've all taken our little bits from the community and have our lives going, but it's always nice to be able to help out somebody. Which we're going to do. So, getting to the house. Our house is going to be built in the end of May, hopefully June, we're going to be starting. It's a 960 square foot house, 2-bedroom. It's going to be completely finished inside. The house is when you get your house, there's going to be a fridge, a stove, and dishwasher, I believe, with the house. like we say, it's a hand up. We don't say that we're giving out, it's a hand up to help out. Everything else, they're gonna have to help to get things figured out, how to get, furnish the house, get everything all in there and everything. So, and depending on the size of the house, it depends on how far we go with it. The house here is 960 square feet, like I said, it's 2-bedroom, upstairs, that's all that they were gonna need for a house. So if it was gonna be a bigger family that was gonna get a house, we would have finished off the basement. It's gonna be ready to be finished off, but we would finish it off for a bigger family so they'd have more room. And it's, in future, if we use the same model, there would be 2 bedrooms downstairs and a washroom downstairs and everything all finished off completely. We have to go to a certain extent for life safety, in the house so that it's all finished completely to that life safety standard. So it's, like I said, and it's an energy efficient home. The walls, I believe, are going to be an R28 wall, if that's going to be a very warm house. In the attic, it's an R60 insulation in the attic, so it's going to be very, very efficient. Triple pane windows, everything like that. Furnished all the heat system. It's going to be a high efficiency heat system and cooling system in it, so it's all there for a great start for our family. So we're happy to do it that way to help out, and but the other key thing that we have to keep going, that we have to keep pushing, is the volunteer system and the fundraising. The fundraising is very, very key. We can start our house if we have 75% towards the house. We can start our house and then Habitat will help us out with the other 25%. But we still have to get that money to finish off for the 25% to pay back. So we need to get to that 75%, which we all know that we're going to get it. We're going to get there with the help of everybody. And if, like the old saying, many hands makes work light. Every little bit helps, and it's just, and you can donate or you can help out in so many different ways. Like for our bill, I went, because I was in the trades for many, many years, I knew everybody. I went to all the tradespeople right off the hop, and I said, if you guys could do this house, would you guys be interested in doing this? And they absolutely, every one of them went. So we have pretty much for the house, for the labor part of it, we have it covered. We have every trade has volunteered their time to build this house, which is fantastic. So the only thing we have to do is have enough money to get the material and get it there. We're getting there, but we do need to carry on with that. And like I said, every little bit helps. There's different ways you can do. In kind, like can come out and help, or if you wanted to say that you wanted to donate. I'm not going to mention any names. The last person that I talked to, our company, they said they're going to donate all the millwork in it, which is fantastic. So that's something that somebody else hasn't done, and they jumped up to it, and it's fantastic they did that. So that helps from the material part of it. Pays for some of it for there, but there's lots of cost in doing it. So and we were happy with the town that they donated 30% of it, I say 50% of the cost of the lot, which is fantastic. That's a great helping hand, and now we look to the community to help us out. We're the steering committee. We're here to help get everybody in the right direction, and I'm pretty sure I can do it. I can yell a little bit. Hey, that's our job, and we just want to make everybody a happy place. It's going to be at a job site when everybody's donating something. It always feels good giving than getting.
On behalf of Council and Municipality of North Cypress-Langford, I'm proud to speak to you today about an important step forward in our ongoing commitment to protecting the natural beauty and environmental health of our region. Today we formally recognize our growing relationship with Nature Conservancy Canada, a respected national organization dedicated to conserving our country's natural landscapes. We are pleased to move forward with agreements related to 22 parcels of land that reflect a shared vision, one rooted in environmental stewardship, sustainable land use, the preservation of the aquifer and rural values we all cherish. Donations of 4 parcels in the Douglas Marsh and conservation agreements on 18 parcels throughout the municipality as stated in Bylaw 1, 2025. Throughout this partnership, we are securing more than just green space. We're investing in the long-term well-being of our community. These agreements help protect sensitive ecosystems, ensure responsible land management, and conserve habitat for wildlife. But just as importantly, they support the lifestyle and legacy of our farming communities by promoting land use practices that respect both conservation and agricultural traditions. This collaboration brings value to our residents in many ways. Environmental resilience, as we face increasing challenges with drought, flooding, and biodiversity loss, preserving native grasslands and wetlands strengthen our region's natural defenses. Economic opportunity, through conservation easements and stewardship programs, landowners can access funding and support for maintaining their land in ways that work for both their environment and their operations. Community pride, being part of something bigger, a national effort to preserve Canada's natural heritage, puts North Cypress-Langford on the map as a leader in rural conservation. I want to extend our thanks to Nature Conservancy Canada for their professionalism, their respect for their knowledge, and their collaborative approach. This is not about locking up land. It's about unlocking the potential of what rural partnerships can do when we work together with trust and vision. To our residents, I say thank you. Your commitment to the land, to your communities, and to each other is the reason partnerships like this one's are possible and why they matter so deeply. Together, we're making sure that future generations can continue to enjoy the landscapes, the livelihoods, and the legacy that make North Cypress-Langford such a special place to call home. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. And this time I'll turn it over to Josh, and he can do his presentation.
So, again, I'm Josh Dillabaugh. I'm the Natural Area Manager for Nature Conservancy Canada here in Brandon. And tonight we're here to talk about our partnership with the Municipality of North Cypress-Langford. So I'll do a little introduction for those of you who don't know NCC, kind of what we do, who we are, and then we'll move into the more technical part, what a conservation agreement is, what the project looks like, all that kind of good stuff. So Nature Conservancy Canada, we're a national nonprofit charitable organization. We are the country's, well, we like to say we're the country's unifying voice or force whenever it comes to nature, working to deliver large-scale, permanent land conservation that benefits the entire people. Our mission is community-led conservation that supports resilient communities and landscapes. So the priority habitat that we're focused on within the Assiniboine Delta, on the left is a picture of a piece of native prairie. Native prairie is the least protected, most endangered terrestrial ecosystem on the planet. It's more endangered than the Amazon rainforest, and we have it right here. Off to the right is a picture of the Douglas Marsh. Obviously, a target of ours within this area, and something that's very important, are wetlands, and specifically wetlands on top of the aquifer. So they host some native species here that aren't found anywhere else. So how do we work on these priority areas? We understand, and we support the working landscape that happens in Manitoba. It benefits both biodiversity and the community. We have 26,000 acres of land that both NCC owned and co-managed that are in haying and grazing production right now. We work with a variety of funders to deliver some incentive programming to private landowners with compatible land management. So we have a stewardship credit pilot program, and also historically we've had the Weston Stewardship Investment Program, and we partnered with the Association of Manitoba Community Pastures, and our regional vice president sits on the board for the Canadian Roundtable for Sustainable Beef. So we focus on community and our agricultural partnerships. We get involved in two-way relationships with good communication. We regularly communicate with municipalities, watershed districts, indigenous communities, and other local organizations. Ecotourism and interpretive sites, we focus on those too. We have an interpretive site in the Douglas Marsh, just off the highway, as a partnership with Central Assiniboine Watershed District to allow people to come and view the marsh and the yellow rails associated with it. And there's some of these little placards out there to provide information to people. We do volunteer events and school programming, and Christine works really hard on the capacity building for Youth of Tomorrow through hands-on conservation programming. Economically, we contribute to the communities we work in. We're a taxpayer. We pay the same taxes that everybody else does, rural, residential, or agricultural. We don't get a reduced rate or anything like that. We try to purchase our supplies as locally as we can. We have quite a number of co-op memberships, local hardware stores, where we can get the local goods and services that we can. We employ about 35-ish staff across Manitoba, and they're split up between Manitoba and Brandon, and they are dotted. Some of them work remotely, kind of dotted in western Manitoba and eastern Manitoba. So that's kind of who we are and what we do. Tonight, we would like to focus on the working together. So whenever Nature Conservancy thinks about this particular project, we think about celebrating the work that has historically been done here by previous councils, by the current council, by our historic ag lease renters, and those who have cared for the lands for generations beyond that. They have done amazing work to have the rare species that are on these properties and to keep these habitats natural. By protecting these key areas, the municipality is building on its legacy to safeguard its aquifer and sustain the natural economic value of the land for future generations. So, if you haven't had a chance to look at the big map at the back, this is, it might be hard to see for those in the back, and I do apologize. We can only make this work so big. But for those who don't know, the conservation agreement is going to be focused on the lands more towards the Manitoba Escarpment. There is one parcel over here, closer to Camp Hughes, that would also be under conservation agreement, and then the proposed donation of the parcels within the Douglas Marsh. The main goal of this project is to protect the aquifer and the recharge areas that are found within the municipality. And that currently 84% of those lands are rented out right now to local livestock producers, and NCC wants to see that continue. We want to see these lands available for local livestock producers for generations to come. So, for conservation agreements, this is kind of a little bit of the technical side of it, but they are voluntary. They are legal contracts that bind us and the free-willing person that signs it to protect the property's key natural features by limiting certain types of development and land use. So the focus for this conservation agreement, based on the municipality's vision, And these agreements are co-developed. We changed our approach over the years to have these co-developed visions so that we have less friction in the future whenever it comes to making sure that these lands stay in the state that they should be in a natural state. So, and what was agreed to at the beginning of the conservation agreement. So these things are co-developed. The intent is to safeguard the land's ecological value and also to protect the natural infrastructure that's out on these properties. So the development that we're talking about here are center pivot agriculture and development for housing. This conservation agreement is focused on those. If it comes to other forms, the conservation agreement is quite silent on it. So that means that we can still graze on there, ATVs, trail rides, there's big trails across some of the properties, all that stuff's still allowed, hunting's still allowed, and recognizing that these lands are still leased to the agricultural producers that use them, and that this agreement would be focused on meshing those two together. So we monitor our conservation agreements yearly. There's an act called the Conservation Agreements Act, and it states that we have to monitor them yearly to be compliant with the act. So what does this mean for residents? Well, we feel that it's a minimal impact because it's only 0.6% of the entire municipality. The development that we're restricting is only the center pivot agricultural conversion and conversion to housing development. So grazing, forestry, wetland management, all can happen under this conservation agreement. Infrastructure and trails will remain unaffected. The conservation agreement doesn't speak to anything about that. We try and build the maximum flexibility we can within these agreements while still honoring that vision of protecting the aquifer. And by doing that, by protecting the aquifer, by protecting the native prairie and the lands that sit on top of it. So, as I said before, there are 84% of these lands are leased out. The lease agreements would still apply. The grazing leases follow the conservation agreement terms, which aren't different very much. Maybe a little bit of legal wording, but they aren't different from what's already being done out there. So that's why we feel this is recognizing the vision of the council and few previous councils before them. So the municipal authority is maintained. They retain control over the agricultural use, land access, and recreational use. This agreement doesn't take away any of those rights or landowner obligations. It just restricts the development. So from the standpoint, nothing's really going to change. The municipality, because they are restricting that development, they are financially compensated for that. As part of signing the conservation agreement, there is value towards that. And as far as the donated portion goes, there's not a whole lot of technical slides or anything like that. I'm pretty sure everybody understands what donation means. That would be donated into Nature Conservancy Canada's portfolio to manage for the future. And just to speak a little bit on that, NCC, we allow hunting, we allow pedestrian access, and as far as I know, the residents of the North Cypress-Langford would still be able to enjoy those lands the way they are now. And with that, I think everybody's tired of probably hearing me talk, so we can turn it over to